Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here. For those of you who don't know, I am Connelly McCaskill, and you can probably tell by the title of this video that we are going to be talking about sleep regressions. Now, my channel, for those of you who don't know, is about fitness, lifestyle, motherhood, vlogs, etc. So today is going to be about my experience with my two children, Branton, who is 4, and Bailey, who is 1, and sleep regressions. We have currently, I think, just broken through one, and we're kind of still going through another with Branton. We'll discuss that. So if this is a video that you were interested in watching, please stay tuned. And yeah, so let's just get started. I pulled up on my phone the exact definition of a sleep regression, for those of you who may not know. A sleep regression is a period of time that lasts 2 to 6 weeks when a baby experiences poor sleep after a history of sleeping well. Signs may include frequent night awakenings, shorter nap, fighting sleep, and extreme fussiness. More often than not, sleep regressions seem to come out of nowhere. Okay, so that's what a sleep regression is. Basically, when your child or children or what have you, I guess if you have multiples of the same age, because I'm just so lucky that my kids are nowhere near the same age and they're both have been going through this at the same time. Yay, love that for me, right? Love that for us. Okay, so yeah, so let's see. Bailey actually slept completely through the night last night for the first time in a month or two. And I know that that sounds crazy, but like this thing just said a second ago, like 6 weeks. So that's not abnormal. I just got on the unlucky end of that spectrum, or that scale. So Bailey has been sleeping through the night since she was 6 months old. On the 27th, which is coming up soon actually, she will be 18 months old. So she's been sleeping consecutively through the night for, you know, several months, you know, like 13 months, like over a year, okay? And it literally just came out of nowhere. Every night she was waking up at like 3, and it's always 3, both of my kids. And it kind of freaked me out in the beginning because both of my kids are waking up at 3 o'clock. Not 3:05, not 4, 3 o'clock. Have y'all seen those scary movies where the clock flips over to a certain time and everybody wakes up and it's like, oh, like the ghosts are here? Don't love that. But anyway, that's a side note. Story for another day. Story for another day. Anyway, so she would wake up at 3 o'clock. I would try to let her fuss because I do believe in the cry it out method. I do. The problem I have with the cry it out method is, drum roll please, is that when she cries, even though I literally have sound machines in both of their rooms and one in the hallway that y'all probably hear right now because Bailey is laying down because we are going to look at Christmas lights. It's 4:58 in the afternoon, but we're going to look at Christmas lights with my family, so she's having a little quiet time. But yeah, so despite having all these sound machines going and everything, when I let one of my kids cry, Bailey's room's over here, Brandon's room's over here, we're all upstairs. When I let one cry, it wakes the other one up. So let's say in a perfect world, both of my kids were not waking up at the same time every night, which Brandon's really hit or miss. She's just like not the best sleeper. If you haven't seen my sleep training video, you need to go watch it because I just talk about how Branton, my oldest, has not always been like the best sleeper. Not even as a baby. I got really lucky with Bailey. But anyway, so let's just say in a perfect world, they were not waking up at the same time. If I leave one of them screaming for 15 minutes, well, don't you think that's going to wake the other one up? Right. So it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And I mean, but it is what it is, and it's not forever. You know, you just have to tell yourself in your mind so you don't like lose your SHIT that like it's not forever. you know, whatever. My grandmother always said that you cannot cry blood. Tough love, right? Like literally, you can't cry blood. Anyway, okay, so she was waking up. I was letting her fuss for a few minutes, and if that persisted, I would go do my little checklist, which I recommend doing as well. If you are not familiar with the cry it out method, you have a little checklist like sick, soiled, wet, you know, obviously fever, which goes along with sickness, like hungry, maybe baby, didn't, you know, was overtired and didn't eat a good dinner, you know, whatever. So at first, when the sleep regression started with Baylor Ann, I thought that she was just like going through a growth spurt. And if we go back on my phone, it says, what age do babies have sleep regressions? And it's basically a lot of them happen around growth spurts. So I wasn't totally wrong because she was waking up kind of hungry. So I would go downstairs and make her a little sippy cup of milk, and I would change her diaper and I'd lay her back down, and she was fine. Well, as that kept going on every single night, I thought it was just becoming habit. And I was like, well, this freaking sucks. And then as it went on and on and on, I figured out, well, that's probably what a sleep regression is, like whatever. So it says babies may experience sleep regressions starting around 3 to 4 months, again at 8 to 10 months, 12 months, 18 months, and again at 2 years. The most common sleep regressions occur at 6 weeks, 4 months, and 6 months. So I guess we are going, or we were going through the 18-month sleep regression, growth spurt, all the things. So maybe, you know, I don't know. She's not waking up hungry because I guess last week I stopped. Yeah, I know, last week. I know. I stopped going in there. I stopped giving her milk. I made sure she was eating like well-balanced meals all through the day. Like, y'all, she's 24 pounds and she's 1. My 4, almost 5-year-old is like 32, 33, maybe 34, soaking wet, fully clothed. So that's not a fat joke. I'm not being ugly. I'm just saying that she eats really well, okay? So she's not starving or anything, and I know that. It's just like when your baby's screaming, all of your instincts are like, go in there, go in there, go in there, go in there. So it really sucks when you have to listen to them cry. I mean, I'm sure it sucks for them crying too, you know, that's what I'm saying. But, you know, for 15 minutes, it feels like an eternity. But I stopped going in there. I started letting her cry. And if it persisted 15 minutes, I would go in there and check on her and do my little checklist I mentioned a second ago. And it got to the point where she would cry for like 20 or 30 minutes, like I would have gone in there, obviously. And all she wanted was a hug. And I was like, y'all, we're not making this a habit. Like, you know, sleep is so important for everyone. Like, it's so healthy. I mean, there are obviously a quadrillion reasons why you need like proper sleep, okay? And I was just like, you know, Connelly, like you've got to do something. Like you can't keep doing this. I was starting to feel like garbage because, you know, Baylor Ann was waking up, and like, so I could time her and make sure she was in the 15-minute time. One, not that I could fall asleep with her screaming anyway, because I'm a really light sleeper. 2, to make sure she didn't cry for like an hour or 2, because the hour thing has happened. We'll get into that for like forever, you know. I'm staying awake, or I was staying awake to make sure that, you know, she wasn't in there dying, which she kind of, I think, thought she was, but she wasn't. So it actually went on like 2 nights that stick out in my brain that she literally cried for an hour. Okay, don't come for me. Not consecutively. With the cry it out method, the one that we followed, that our pediatrician recommended, are 15-minute increments. It doesn't matter if baby stops crying for 10 seconds. When they stop, you start that timer over, because obviously they're not dying. If you're freaking dying and you're hurting, you're not gonna stop crying. Not even like to catch your breath. Like, I mean, obviously if it's just like, wah, wah, like that's not long enough. But if it's like, I say 5 or 10 seconds, you restart the 15 minutes over. Okay, and this went on for an hour until she tired herself out. It was terrible. It was terrible. And the other time that's sticking out of my head is she stayed up for 2 hours. Okay, she would cry and then stop, and I would fall back asleep, and then I would wake up, you know, 10, 15 minutes later to the same thing. And that went on from 4 to 6 a.m. And then I was back up at 7 getting Branton ready for school. And, you know, I'm still going to the gym every day. I'm still like doing all the things I'm having to do. And dragging ass that doesn't even begin to cover like how crappy I had been feeling. But, you know, I knew that it wasn't forever, and I kept trying to tell myself that, but again, it's just like, what is happening? Like, oh my gosh. And I mean, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Now, that's the Baylorian situation. So basically, I just wrote it out. I realized later than sooner that it was a sleep regression and not just her like being a pain in the butt, like trying to create a habit. Like, it was obviously happening for a reason, and that reason was not her fault. So that's not really helpful. I'm making this video to help you realize if you are going through this and you just think your baby's, you know, wanting to be loved on or whatever, it's probably not. Now, if they're like 2 years old and they've had like crappy sleeping patterns and they haven't been on a set schedule, then I'm sorry, I can't relate. But my kid has always, she was also starting to fight naps every day. And y'all, that is so unheard of for Baylorian. That is so unheard of. She has put herself on this schedule, and y'all, she only takes 1 nap a day. Like right now, she's just laying down resting. She takes 1 nap a day, and y'all, that nap is usually about 3 hours long. I'm not even kidding. When she was growing up, even though she's only 17 months old, she literally made her own schedule. If she does not eat dinner at 5:45, the whole world might as well be about to end, because a sis cannot, okay? A sis cannot. And come like 6:45, she's ready to be out of that bathtub, excuse me, out of that bathtub and getting dressed. Like, she has always had the best schedule. So when she started fighting naps, I think that's when I looked into like, okay, you know, something is happening. And that's when I really started looking into sleep regressions. Now you might say, well, Connelly, you have another child, like an older one. How did you not know? Well, basically, Branton has always been a crappy sleeper. Go back, like I said, and watch my sleep training video. And I get into all of that about how I used to have to rock her for an hour to get her to sleep. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to go down memory lane because it sucked so bad. Seriously, it was terrible. But yeah, so I also mentioned in that video that I use melatonin for her on nights when I just like cannot. It's natural, your body produces it naturally, whatever. Don't come for me, talk to a pediatrician about it if you have questions. I did mention it in that sleep training video again, so go look at that. But even when I give her sometimes the recommended dosage, she still wakes up. Like, this literally happened last night. And then the night before, she stayed with my mother-in-law, and of course she slept the entire night. And then the night before that, because tonight's Wednesday, so Monday when she was here, it happened. And I literally have to go get up and go get in her bed, because literally she wakes up at 3 a.m. And if I don't hear her, which is weird because usually I do, she helps herself, gets up, gets her iPad off the charger, and y'all, she'll stay awake. She'll stay awake until 7 or 8 o'clock at night when it's time to go to bed. I'm not kidding. Hands down, hands on the Bible. Like, that is actually like not common for her, but it's happened at least 5 times this school year, which started in September. I don't know how it is, because she falls asleep on her own around like 8. And that's a 13-hour day for her anyway, because she gets up at 7, sometimes 8. So it's like a 12 or 13-hour day for her anyway. No naps. She's not overtired, showing her butt. She's not taken naps since she was like 2. She just stopped. Like I said, she's never been like the best sleeper. So that just like stopped. So I just lost my whole freaking train of thought. So even with the recommended dosage of melatonin, like, she'll still wake up, and I have to get up and I have to go lay in there with her. I literally did this last night. Monday she had her iPad and she stayed awake from 3 until 6 a.m. And then I finally took it. I heard her, I went in her room, I took her iPad and I made her go back to sleep. Like, threatened her to go back to sleep, because it's like, I want a snack, I want this, I want that, I want this. No. So I made her go back to sleep, and she slept till 8, and then she went to school and like had a freaking great day. What did we do that day? I don't know. We went to school, played. I feel like we did some other stuff. I can't remember. We got cake pops at Starbucks. I don't remember everything, but that's the night she stayed with my mother-in-law, because she went over to her house to bake homemade Christmas cookies, and my mother-in-law said that they ended up staying up till like 10:30 at night, and she didn't crash. So I don't know, she's not the best sleeper. So I know this is not really helpful. I'm just trying to hold my head up and continue to know, like, this is not forever, because we're still going through it. It just happened last night. It's gotten better though. She only stayed awake, I guess, for like an hour last night. I just laid with her and scratched her back, and, you know, did not let her have iPad, did not let her get up and have toys, did not let her look at books, did not let her do anything. I just like made her lay there. Now my husband has put the fear of death in her today, not really, but, you know, and told her that, you know, we're not doing that. Mama's not getting back out of bed. That's not fair. She's a big girl. She's got to stop that, you know, whatever. So we'll see how that goes. We are dressed because we are going to look at Christmas lights. I don't know if I already said that. So hopefully she'll be really tired by the time we get home tonight, and she'll just go to sleep, because literally it doesn't matter. Like, one day, like during this whole thing, she rode bikes. Okay, it's the video with my niece, my aunt, day in the life video. You can go look at that. They rode bikes for 4 hours outside. That was after, yeah, 4 hours outside and everything. And she still woke up that night. And I'm like, are you serious? So it's not that I'm not giving her enough, like, extracurriculars, because if you know me, if you follow me on any kind of social media, you know we are always like go, go, go. So I'll keep y'all posted on how that goes. My camera says I've been talking for like 18.5 minutes, and I'm trying not to make this a super long video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps some of y'all out, because it is so stressful. It is so frustrating, and I wish I had known sooner what I was dealing with when I was dealing with it, so that I didn't, I don't know, it's not like I felt like a failure, but I was just like, what is happening? Like, I was just like, up to here, not down here, like up to here. Now I'm like back down to here. Anyway, again, okay, so thank you so much for watching, y'all. Please, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Please turn on your bell notification so you don't miss any uploads. Thank you. I'll see you Friday. Bye.